What is going on, all you goons and producers? We are back. It's been a longer break than we thought, but we've had a lot going on with the show. We're clearly in a new studio space, so we've been getting that going. Studio 519 in downtown Albuquerque. Wonderful people. Happy they're going to be working with us. And yeah, Damien's an alien, as always.
Good, everybody.
He missed you guys as much as I did. And I just want to say thank you guys for supporting the show. Some of you, this is your first show of the Producers Pit. And for some of you that don't know who we are New Mexico's music show. We find all the greatest talent here in the land of enchantment, and we get to talk with them and learn about the music that they make. For everyone else, you've been waiting for this one for a long time, so welcome back. Thank you for the support. We've had so many of the artists in the area reach out to us, support the show. Our new graphics are made by Red Panda, and we also have had Decon, last show's guest, work with us quite a bit in getting us this studio, finding us guests, and joining the show. So it's been great to have that kind of support. And we've got a great guest for you in our first show of the year, Edgar Wonder. For those of you who don't know this wonderful gentleman, alternative rock artist, does a bit of mariachi, also a local music producer, just a lot of talent in the musical realm, long resume, and also a content creator. You cover local music, you do covers, you do it all, man. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Creating some more content,
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do.
Yeah. Exactly. Got to put the music scene on the map. So,
yeah.
Welcome in.
I like that idea.
Yeah. No, I mean, we like what you do. Like I said, man of many talents. We'll be getting to that soon, but just because we're in a new space don't mean we can't do Song of the Week. So, of course, Damien, start us off. What's the first pick for 2021?
So, you know how, like, we always have random songs. Like, there are always different genres. So, I'm going to bring out a country song this time. A country song called Out of Sight by Midland. Very, very good song. If you're a fan of country music, go listen to that.
All right, Edgar. We put our guests on the spot with this segment.
Really?
Yeah. What's a good recommendation you got for Song of the Week? What have you been listening to?
Gonna go off of that country vibe.
Hey.
I really like, what's the word? What's the word for that song? What's it called? Burnout by Midland.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Burnout.
That's a good song, yeah.
All the neons get burnt. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I like that one.
There we go. We're going to add some country to our playlist. We have a very vast playlist of a billion different random stuff.
Like,
so you can find that on our YouTube channel. And of course, I got to close out this segment and give my own. And mine's not even country. Mine's more synthwave because I'm an electronic music kid. Dan Terminus, No Exit, No Escape, No Survivors. Real good song. You would think the song's a bit more violent than the title suggests. It's not. It's got that like 80s training montage vibe kind of deal.
the Rocky vibe?
Yeah, it's the synthwave is really trying to bring back that, like Rocky, all those like Karate Kid, those like 80s movies kind of thing. Yeah. So it's actually not a bad like training montage song and throwback to that era of stuff. Yeah. So this will definitely be some interesting additions to our playlist because we got two country. We're going back right into synthwave, but hey, that's how we do it at the Producers Pit.
Which is already all over the place.
So that concludes Song of the Week. We'll have more suggestions in the future, more interesting stuff. But speaking of interesting, great segue.
Oh.
We got some news. One big piece of news. Now, Damien, can you tell us what your sweatshirt says?
Yeah, so it says Extraordinary, right?
What's that?
That's the name of my upcoming album coming out January 22nd.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been working on this for 2 years. I mean, people around me know that I've been working on this for too long. And I've scrapped about 30, 40 songs just to put a 12-song album on. But, like, I'm excited for everybody to hear it. It came out pretty well.
A lot of good collabs on that one.
Yeah.
Meraki, some other friends of ours.
Some other friends. I
Pocket
got
Elephant?
Pocket
Pocket
Elephant
Elephant's in there.
featured. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean it's decent for like a SoundCloud rapper from the New Mexico desert. So I hope you guys like it.
well, we'll see how SoundCloud it is once it drops. I'm real excited to see the release. I've already heard it. It's a good first project. He's really put in the time to get better, and like I said, ball don't lie.
Yeah,
So that's
bald don't
ball.
lie?
Oh, ball.
Bald don't lie or ball don't lie?
Ball don't lie.
Oh,
Hey,
okay,
ball
I
don't
got
lie.
it.
I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
okay.
that works too. So, Extraordinary, January 22nd, from our very own Damien's an Alien.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all I can say is it's going to be a good one. So, we've left Edgar here waiting long enough. So, we'll talk all about him just in a second after we come back. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nico Anthony. This is Damien's an Alien. You're watching The Producer's Pit. And where are we watching it?
Public access, Channel 27 in Albuquerque.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Producer's Pit. We are here with this week's guest, Edgar Wonder.
Yes, sir.
So let's get into, I guess, what kind of music do you make for all those who don't know what you're doing already?
For all those who don't know what I'm doing already, I make cumbia music now. I make Latin music now. That's what I am starting to focus on. And I didn't for a long time. But now I kind of feel like I'm going back to my roots a little bit, doing some Latin music.
All right. So going into your roots there, where did you get your start in music, and what got you on this journey here?
I think I've always liked music. I grew up around music. My mother was a singer in church and stuff like that. And I would go to church and I would watch people sing and I would sing along from like being a 2-year-old. I got a little guitar. People would be like, oh my God, look at him. He's like a little, and that's what I would start doing. And I think from there, that's where I started being a little attention-seeking person, Like I was like, oh, I love this attention. So I'm going to keep doing this music thing. And then, throughout my teenage years, you kind of lose it a little bit. You start going through too many body changes and you start...
Phases.
Yeah, exactly. Start molting a little bit, And then, but I still kept the guitar thing, and I've always practiced guitar like every day. And that's just been a habit of mine since I was about 12 years old, since I got my first electric guitar. And then after that, just started going to college. And then college is too expensive. And I was like, how am I going to make this money and keep playing guitar every day? And so I just like desperately looked for ways to make money. And now, like 5 years later, I kind of got the hang of it, and that's all I do for a living now. It's like I play in people's bands, I produce people, I record, I mix for people on Instagram and stuff like that. Just multiple sources of income, as many as I can, using as many of the skills that I can.
Well, that's good to hear. No, church has been a big inspiration for a couple of the musicians we've had on. That's kind of where they get their start, is church music, playing in church band.
Totally. It's like the best place to play for free, right? And like there's people who are there supporting you to get better.
Yeah.
And then you have like other kids going there and you hang out with them, and then it's just like a great nurturing environment. If you're already into the music, the worship team has it the easiest out of everybody in the church. You can just hang out in the back and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so you said you're focusing on kumbayas a bit more.
Kumbayas.
I don't know. I can't pronounce.
That's hilarious, dude. No, I don't blame you. It's pronounced cumbia.
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 Kumbayas.
Kumbayas. That's also acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the American way. I say my name is Edgar. I don't walk up and expect you to say Edgar.
Yeah. So is that kind of the first genre that you started with?
It totally is. I mean, I grew up listening to Latin music, Latin pop even, And I think Mexican music is interesting because there's regional, there's pop, there's all kinds of stuff, and it's always on the radio. It's a huge variety. It's not like American radio where it's like you're listening to just the pop hits, you know, and then you can't change it to station. It's just country, right? Although I'm sure it's like that now. Anyway, I digress. I forgot what we were talking about. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the music genre that got you started.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I started with cumbia or, you know, just Latin music in general. And then my teenage years, rebellious years, I started playing Metallica, you know, as any kid. And then Megadeth. I could still play every Megadeth song. I don't care. And what else? Yeah, now I'm going back to that. And then I started doing a little bit of indie. But still, I keep going back to Latin music. It just hits more. It hits deep. Like, I see, like, I play in a country band now. And I see, like, people of American descent. And they love country music. And I see how deep it, like, affects them, you know? And they're crying in the bar, crying at the club.
Crying at the club.
And they're just, like, enjoying it a lot. And I feel that connection with Latin music. And so, you know, I want to make that kind of music now. There's no reason for me to rebel anymore.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit then about your 2018 album, Allergies, because that was more of a
you know what that
alternative
feels
rock
like?
deal.
Here's why I made it have flowers, because it's kind of like putting all that to rest, you know? It's like all this music that I made, the best songs, like the 12 best songs I think I made over the last 6 years or whatever. I put those in an album, and then I was like, all right, that's it. I want to make new music that's not tied to my experience as a teenager. You know, life was a little rough, but growing up, you know, you get over it and then you move on. You know, and that was that album. I was putting that to rest, but it has a lot of songs that I like. You know, but they sound like not my songs anymore. So I can feel like I can enjoy them like a little bit. What's the word? Out of body experience type of thing. You know, a little bit. Maybe.
So would you ever consider coming back to alternative rock? Because I mean, personally, Damien and I gave that a full listen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So yeah, man. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. What else? What else do you like about it?
I mean, one of the big things for us was production.
Yeah, and especially like coming from a producer, your mixing and mastering is beautiful.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I did all that on some home speakers and AirPods.
Yeah, that's
Really?
amazing. Yeah.
So that wasn't, you didn't even collab. That was all you're doing, or
I believe I'm part of the school of thought that as long as you know how other songs sound in your AirPods or in your headphones or whatever, you can kind of use that as reference. You know.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, no, that's definitely some good insight on it, because I mean,
Thank you.
it's put it this way, when we were doing our homework on you, we were like, all right, you know, this is a whole, you know, alternative rock album, indie, pop, whatever kind of deal. And then turns out you're very into Latin music. So we're like, that's quite
I'm catching you off guard because I do want to talk about the difference now. You know?
Yeah.
I would love for you guys to bring up, I still love alternative music. Like, I want to play, I just wouldn't sing it anymore. You know, I wouldn't put my image into that anymore. It just feels inauthentic, you know? And so I will play, and I still love to play alternative music, though. You know, alternative guitar is fun. I love slapping the bass every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, I love playing country music as well.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that difference then. Let's. I mean, what?
Like, I still want to hear the questions that you got.
Well, no, we're on the topic, so let's keep it rolling here.
Okay.
I mean, what is the difference for you? I mean, is it performance? Is it how it makes you feel? Is it how just making the music even?
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's like more authentic to myself. You know, I'm not trying to fit into something that I feel immediately rejected by. You know, and you know what it is. I watched that movie, Selena. You know the movie Selena.
Yeah.
What is the first thing the dad says? The dad's like, or like the dad's experience. It's the whole first cutscene of that movie. He's like a Mexican guy singing American music, and then he goes and plays with the Americans, and the Americans are like, we can't hire this guy. He's Mexican, right? And then he goes and plays with the Mexicans, and they're like, what are these guys doing singing? Why don't they sing Mexican music, right? And that's just like, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's a little bit of nationalist, I guess, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's like a healthy amount of nationalism. And I am from Mexico, and I grew up there. And So it feels natural to me now, you know. And I see my uncles and I want to emulate them somehow, even though they like to drink and party.
Yeah.
You know, that's fun.
Hey, Latin music's good for that, so I don't
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to live that life. You know?
Well, you definitely are getting in the spotlight, we'll put it more or less. You're here now, but more importantly, let's talk about that 2020 movie that you got to extra in, that you told me about, was Stargirl.
You know what's crazy is, yeah, we filmed that in 2018
Oh,
in
wow,
like the span of a month, and it took over a year to edit, I guess. Super cool experience, you know.
And you said you were part of what, the marching band in that movie?
That's right. So the marching band we had to do a choreography. We had to learn. We had to wear suits, and the lady who choreographed La La Land, she's the one who choreographed us.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, which is like crazy because she's like a Grammy winner, and she's actually incredible at her job. I'm trying to remember her name. I think it's Mandy Moore, but not that Mandy Moore. I'm pretty sure her name's Mandy Moore. And I learned a lot just watching her. The way she talks to people and like gets people to work together, it's incredible. No wonder she's so good at what she does. And then that was a really fun part. We got to do that like a whole month just rehearsing. And then we filmed for like 3 days, 16-hour days, middle of the night. It's freezing. You know, it's like, and we're wearing nothing but these little marching band suits. Still super cool.
So did you have any background in marching band? Or is it, you just kind of had to wing it? I mean.
No, see, you just pantomime in movies, right? And I like to dance. So I was like, yeah, I can march in band. Guess, you know who else was in it?
Who?
You guys know who Gus Pedrati is?
Moff Gideon was also in there too.
Mafia.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Was he?
He's one of the stars.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
But one of our local people, Gus Pedrati.
Yeah.
Oh.
He ran for mayor. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh. He did. So he was in that.
Oh,
too?
He was
wow,
in the
yeah.
marching band. I don't want to name drop, but it's an IMDb thing, so
Yeah.
anybody can look it up. Yeah, he was in it. He's a cool guy too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was this filmed here? Or was it, I mean, it looked like it was
was.
Arizona or
Some of it was filmed in Arizona, actually.
Yeah.
That's true. They would fly to Arizona and film some of that out there. But all the scenes that we did here, we did out in Moriarty. They hooked us up with hotels, and we stayed out there like a whole week during filming. And, you know, it's freezing out there. The facilities are like a gym, you know, like a school gymnasium.
Yeah.
And it's just like a little bit painful, but the whole time you're like excited. You know, it's kind of cool.
So are we expecting to see, or are we going to see you in the sequel, maybe Stargirl 2, or any other future movies?
Oh, that's right. They ended it on a cliffhanger. Oh wait, no, they
Did
didn't.
I never saw
No,
it.
no, no,
I
they
just
didn't.
watched the
No,
trailer.
no, they didn't. My bad.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you knew something that I didn't.
No.
Yeah, I was like, how do you know there's a Stargirl 2?
I'm not alluding to the sequel for that, but are we gonna see you back on the big screen? Maybe more marching band movies?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be Marching Band 2. You know that Michael B. Jordan movie?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in that
Or
one.
like the Nick Cannon movie.
Oh, Nick Cannon. That's what I meant anyway.
Yeah.
What's that movie called?
What is it? Drumline?
Drumline,
Drumline. Yeah.
Is it really called Drumline?
Yeah, Drumline.
I'm about to say
Creative.
that'd be a crazy career there. You'd be a professional movie.
You know
marching
what I
band.
think? I don't
Guy?
know if it's all right to say this, but I think I'm too ugly for TV. You know, too ugly for the big screen. Like, that's why I rely on my humor a little bit. But I'm not even that funny, so that's why I rely on my guitar. I'm not even that good at the guitar, so that's why I rely on. Just kidding. Just could go on forever.
Well, hey, I mean, the spotlight keeps finding you, so
I wouldn't
mean,
want
you
to be in
gotta-
a movie though. I want to
Yeah.
be in a movie in the future, but maybe like as an older guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, on top of already doing your music, being in movies and all that, you told me you are starting a music video streaming service for local musicians. Duke City Virtual is the name
Yeah,
of
so
that.
I'm helping a couple of friends start that by doing the AV work, and I'm pretty excited for that. There's a whole lot of ways that could turn into something. We do run into a lot of issues, like as far as demand for that kind of thing, right? But I think it's exciting because we don't know how long this is going to last, this whole lockdown stuff, especially in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a bit about the service. I mean, what's the
Okay,
what's the premise of it? Yeah.
So we like teaming up with breweries, right? And we like getting a deal. We like selling access to the video on a Facebook group for $10 or something like that. You know, the price is negotiable. But a portion of that goes to a brewery, and the people who buy a ticket can go and, you know, get a beer. You know, we can't say it's a free beer, but they can get a gift card for the place, you know, a $5 gift card. And then we negotiate on the back end, whatever. But end of the day, we end up splitting the profit of that with the artist. So that's kind of the model right now. I think having the beer or the brewery enticement, it kind of like brings it back to like what live music is, which is like live music at a bar.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big aspect of enjoying live music. You know, especially if you're not that, if you kind of suck, you know, kind of covers up. People are drinking and you're like, oh yeah, you're drinking yourself and you're like, I sound good.
Yeah.
You know, get a little bit of confidence.
Yeah.
So what are the plans for that platform then? I mean, where are you guys streaming? Is it an app? Is it online?
We're working on building an app for it, you know, and it's online right now currently. DukeCityVirtual.com. You can sign up, $3.99 a month, and you get access to all the videos. And that's pretty much like our sponsorship program, like people who are sponsors to our movement type of thing. Kind of like a Patreon, but it's more.
Or
It's
wait
personal.
for it, OnlyFans.
Yeah. A Duke City Premium.
Yeah, there you go.
1 week free trial.
There you go. Maybe that's what it's like. OnlyFans for New Mexican artists. That's
Right.
there it is.
No.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You love OnlyFans already. Why not go support our artists in a purpose-made service?
50% off.
Exactly.
Hey, that's a deal you can't beat. Well, that's a really cool service, man. Where did the idea come from? Was it because of the lockdown and it's tough for artists to find gigs now, or?
Well, I kind of had the idea back as soon as all the lockdowns started. I was like, well, how are people going to do it? I saw everybody doing lives, and I was like, well, your audience is kind of split really thinly, and people are also willing to be helping out a lot, so why not start a service where everybody could kind of help each other out a little bit, you know? Why not start a service where that's a little more centralized? Like, people can submit their live feeds or something like that. You know, I'm not that good at all the technical things. I just kind of had the idea. I'm not even sure what's possible with the app because I don't know, you know? I just have the idea that it'd be cool. You log onto an app and you're scrolling by and you can see live feeds, and it's nothing but live feeds of bands. It's like singer-songwriters, whatever it is, but local, you know? And then there's even like set times, like, and it's like, you know, there's people doing it at Sister Bar. There's somebody doing it at Launchpad, you know, and you just pay $3.99 a month, and you check it all out, or maybe free with ads. I don't know.
Hey, there you go.
Free
Get some
ads.
sponsorships.
There you
That
go.
makes the world go round. Well, that's a really cool idea. I mean, there's always a lot of visionaries who want to do a lot of really cool stuff with the music scene, and I think it's a great addition. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
man. It's a matter of sticking through it, though. You know, it's hard for me, and finding the right people to work with too.
yeah, that's always a challenge.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that could turn into a whole nuanced conversation about success. You know,
Yeah.
but we'll leave that for another
We'll,
time.
we'll leave that for the philosophy special. Well, sounds like you do a lot of collaboration in the area.
I try to. That's like my main goal.
So you've told me you go to On the Moon Studios, which we filmed in last show. Great place. Go check them out.
Shout out Nick Johnson.
Nick
Yeah.
Johnson.
Nick, man.
Has he ever done a handstand for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's tried teaching me handstands. I've known the guy for over 4 years now. We used to play in a band together. We have mutual friends, and then I started having a studio out of that isolation room for a long time. Like, and we were trying to really collab, and it kind of helped us both, and we finally I outgrew that space a little bit, but now me and Nick have, you know, now I use that studio more than ever. It's an incredible, valuable tool for me. I like recording vocals there. I like doing drums there. I like doing guitars there, like really loud guitars. Anything I can't do in my apartment, because producing music, you're just on a keyboard. Everything's in the box for the most part, But anytime I need to go record something, I like having a nice big room and nice gear. I have a couple of Neumanns at home, but Nick has a nice Neumann and like a few other nice microphones over there. And most importantly, Nick is incredible to work with.
Oh yeah, he's a great dude.
Oh yeah, and he's just great energy and it's a great vibe. That's why I love hanging out there.
I mean, he's one of those guys that has a very interesting skill set too. Master sound engineer, handstand god.
Handstand, can do handstands like nobody's business.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's an OnlyFans I'd pay for right there.
Yeah.
Handstand.
What is this show? Sponsored by OnlyFans?
I was gonna say.
So it's the OnlyFans show now.
What's on your mind, Nico?
Hey, it's a popular one.
You're like, man, I'm having all these subscriptions.
Yeah, you see that
catching up to you.
Dude, I can't, bro. I'm trying to keep up, man.
Trying to keep up.
It's tough.
You got like a backlog 24 subscriptions.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Well, dude, I'm trying to kick the habit. I might sub to Duke City Virtual instead. Hey, that's just how people are making their money these days.
Yeah.
That's the
You're
joke.
supporting the local scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Local. It's
Not
local. Oh man, but no, seriously, he's a great dude to work with. I mean, he put on that episode that we had last show with Decon. Damien was about to cry with all that equipment.
I walked in, I was I've never been in a studio like that. Like I've never been in like something like that extravagant, with like equipment and stuff like that. I just work out of my house with like a tiny MIDI keyboard and like my guitar, but like that's crazy to me. Like everything that's just like he has over that equipment in the big giant room. I was just mind blown.
Right on, man.
It was a real good multi-purpose space too. I mean,
you can do handstands in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know for a while there he was posting, and when like the gyms were closed, he was just posting all his stunts.
Oh yeah.
He's like in there alone. I'm like, this guy, like if this guy hurts himself, man, like it's just him in that studio. I'm like, he's got.
He doesn't have life alert.
Yeah, he don't got no life alert. Like he trusts himself that much. But hey, man, he does it without fail. I don't think.
When he does it on those stilts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's scary.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, on the moon, man. Just a great place.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many artists that go through there too. I mean,
totally.
You're one of the many,
Yeah. Yep. I think, he does a lot of hip hop and he does a lot of, back in the day, that spot used to be really hot for norteño music. And it still kind of is, like right next door, and they still use the facilities, to Nick's facilities to do some of the extra stuff that they need to do over there. And then Nick is always doing stuff in there. He's always like producing music. One of my favorite people that goes there, Haley and her son Luke, they make sound healing music. It's so cool. And I'm like, that's such an appropriate thing for On the Moon Studios.
Yeah, it is.
That kind of music could only be recorded at On the Moon Studios.
Yeah, no, when we were in there, he was like burning some like incense or something like that, So it was like, yeah, that's definitely
vibe guru.
I was about to say he could make that like a yoga studio on the low key too, make more money. Listen, 10%, Nick, you can use that idea. He just gives 10% royalties.
Oh, he'll give you 10% royalties just for talking him up this much.
That's true, but we had so much fun doing this episode, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, moving on from that, what's your big overall goals with your music career? I mean, is it just hanging out, collaborating, just making some tunes?
Yeah, man. I'm trying to make a connection with people around the world, basically. Trying to make connections with like-minded people. And whether that be a musical connection because we are brothers or sisters in music, sisters. Or whether that is like an interaction, they enjoy my music. They might not be musicians, but they enjoy my music. And, I like cultivating those type of relationships. Like, I'd never forget about the people who bought my first CD. I never forget about the people who, like, bought a T-shirt for me or, like, pre-ordered my first single that kind of thing. And I like cultivating those relationships, and they're small, but they're mighty. And I know that I can count on those people, and they're going to enjoy my music when I release it. And, and they tell their friends about it, and I want to just basically grow a fan base, But it's not like I'm trying to go out and, like, catch a record deal or, like, anything like that, try to get a shortcut or whatever. No, I want to do it individually, one by one.
All right. So, I mean, that's really a great way to go about it. I mean, connections really are, I think, more than probably the most important, thing you can have,
Totally.
just especially with music.
Yeah, music.
Especially here. I mean, you see, connections what got him a lot of good collabs on his upcoming album. We've seen so many artists collab, and it's great to see. I mean, you got Wyatt Lawson, Galaxy, Spacey, they're a duo. I mean, they're two local electronic producers that, collab is.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's those connections that make something like a music scene work. So I think it's a great.
I totally agree.
Sector
I'm on that
to go.
philosophy, and I'm not afraid to, like, live my entire life by that philosophy, because I think that's important. That's what I perceive to be important. That's the bottom line.
I mean, yeah, the people make that stuff happen,
Yeah.
more or less. So, you definitely got a lot going here. You got a good philosophy, got some good plans, good collabs under your belt, but we got to talk about music production. But we will get to that in a sec when we come right back. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor for today. Who is it, Damien?
Very secret parties.
That is correct. Very secret parties. Find them on Instagram. Secret parties, secret venues, but the talent you know and love in the New Mexico area. Check them out. Hey, Damien, that's a nice hoodie.
Thank you. You got a nice hoodie too.
Dog, wait, hold on. Where we get this?
Born and raised?
Born and raised, New Mexico's clothing brand. Show the nation that New Mexico is #1 and looking damn good. And welcome back. We are here once again with local musician Edgar Wonder. And now we get to get on the fun topic of music production, since that's a big part of what you're doing. And who better to get into music production questions than our own resident producer, Damien. So take it away. What do you got for him?
So we've been taking out checking out everything. We saw your TikToks and stuff like that, and we saw how you make the music. So what got you into music production? What got you into songwriting too?
What actually got me into music production is listening to the Beatles, actually. First thing, I was never into it, but then I listened to the Beatles for a while, and then I would go to school and I would take off one earphone, and then I would notice that, like, whoa, there's instruments missing on this earphone. And then I'd put on the other one, and it was the other instruments. And that kind of got me curious, and I was like 10 years old at the time, and it got me curious about why that was and how did they do that. And then I started trying to figure out, we had this old computer running Windows 95, and luckily it had, like, no latency, and I was able to start recording on that with a GarageBand microphone. Not a GarageBand, a Rock Band microphone. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like one of those USB ones?
Yeah.
And then I even tried recording with a guitar. This was before I had a guitar, but it doesn't work. You can't record with a Guitar Hero guitar.
I wish.
I know, that'd be sick. I would have started way sooner. And then, but yeah, then I got, we didn't have a lot of money. And then my mom bought me a guitar, a cheap guitar, got it at a yard sale. And then, yeah, the rest is history. I just started getting better at it. My friends, one of my best friends' dads growing up, he had all this, like, extra music gear that was, like, totally beat up, but it worked. And he, like, let me borrow it all for, like, a year or two maybe. And that was such a blessing, because, like, that's when I made, like, hundreds of songs, like, all the time. I was making a bunch of music, and mostly listening to the Beatles, because they had such, like, weird panning that I could listen to what instruments were involved over here, and it helped me learn how to decipher what kind of instruments there were. And, like, I feel like that's a strong skill of producers. You gotta be able to hear what instruments are in other songs so that you can emulate them. And then you also got to be able to like imagine a wide variety of instruments, and you got to be able to imagine what that sounds like in your head. At the same time, that's why I have a hard time with synths, because synth could be anything, and you could turn that synth into whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have a little bit of I'm mostly about like folk instruments or like acoustic instruments.
Yeah. And then, so, you know how I said earlier, we really, really, really enjoyed your album because the mixing and mastering of your album. What importance do you think mixing and mastering has on it? And how did you begin mixing?
So I think mixing is incredibly important. It's so fun to mix, and you can get carried away, and, you know, even that's fun. You know, getting carried away and then bringing it back sounds good, sounds better. So I think mixing is pretty important. It's like 50% of, you know, your polished sound, but the other 50% is, you know, your performances. And then it goes down to the song, whether the song... So I guess maybe it's not even 50%. If I had to just throw out a statistic, I would say it's probably 15% important. It's only 15% of the song. If your mix is good, it doesn't matter that much as long as your performances are good, the lyrics are good, you know, that kind of thing.
So you really can't mix on stage too much.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true.
You know,
that's very true.
If you're doing something live, people aren't listening to that. They're not listening to the mix per se, not too much, but yeah.
Yeah, I find it funny because like I know a bunch of like SoundCloud rappers and stuff like that, and just like the mix being so off, especially in hip hop music. I don't know if it's different with alternative indie or, you know, even cumbia. It's like, you know, if
what sounds good sounds good.
Yeah, whatever sounds good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what genre it is.
Yeah,
it's got to sound good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, on that topic, what's one piece of advice you would like to give starting musicians?
Starting musicians, get better at what you do. Practice. That's the bottom line. If you're not willing to put in all the work to practice, you can't expect things to fall in your lap. Like, we're all talented at something, I think. I truly believe that. We all have a talent. And if you don't have a talent, then become talented in being, you know, really hardworking or something like that, you know? If you have to work really hard to achieve something, become talented in working really hard, you know? So I think we can all do that. And if you practice and if you, like, nurture yourself and maintain, you know, positive influences in your life, you know, and develop a good philosophy about, you know, success or whatever.
Yeah.
Could go into that. But keep it short, practice.
Okay.
Practice a ton.
Okay. And, you know, we know that you collaborate with everybody, you know, and you want to make this, you know, your main goal is to get a big group of people that you just, like, have a connection with. What's the importance of collaborating with other musicians, even, you know, other people like us, per se, you know, like how, you know, we have our platform. We're not technically musicians, but, you know, we have this podcast platform.
Well, I'd say the importance of that is evident right here, right? You guys wouldn't be able to have this podcast if there wasn't somebody willing to come in and sit here and be on the podcast. It's the same thing. Like, we have different roles. We take on different roles every team that we join, you know, and we can become kind of like cogs in a machine. And if you really know how to do that really well, then you could learn how to collaborate with anybody. And that skill is more important than your guitar skill, actually. And that might be an opinion, but I think it's a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's a real evident fact here.
Real evident fact.
What we're doing.
So going off of that, you know, there's just people like Russ where they're like, I produce everything. I mix all my stuff. I do everything myself. Do you think that's like kind of ignorant, or do you think that's okay? Do you think it's...
I don't think ignorance is the right word,
or
but
not,
like
ignorant.
it's kind of like...
Do you think it stops like the creative process of keeping this growing, you know?
I mean, like, who does that? Who's Russ?
He's a hip hop rapper. He's the dude that floats.
You know,
algebra.
if he's got the talent to do it all himself or whatever, and he can do it, I don't see anything wrong with it. But it's for most people like us, like me, normal guy, it's evident that I don't have the talent to do it all myself, you know? So that's why I go out and I work with other people, because they fill a hole that I am lacking. You know, they fill a void that I have. They fill my holes.
The OnlyFans show.
It is the OnlyFans show. Well, funny enough, you talk about missing something in your life, because we're missing something ourselves, and that is a performance by the one and only Edgar Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have that coming up real soon when we come back. You're on the spot. Let's go.
What? Hey guys, I'm Edgar Wonder. You're watching Producer's Pick. Subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Producer's Pit. For those of you that have been watching our show, you know we love to showcase the talents that the musicians that we have come on have. We've done music production challenges before, and today we are blessed with a performance coming from Edgar Wonder. Take it away, my man.
Alrighty, here we go. Here's a Don Edwards song. Was a cowboy I knew in South Texas. His face was burnt deep by the sun. Part history, part sage, part Mexican. He was there when Pancho Villa was young. And he'd tell you a tale of the old days, when the country was wild all around. Said that under the stars in the Milky Way, listen while the coyotes howl, and they go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, doo, doo, yip, ooh, ooh, yip, ooh, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, doo, yip, ooh, ooh, yip, ooh, ooh. Then he cursed all the roads and the oil men, and he cursed the automobile. He said there's no place for an hombre like I am in this new world of asphalt and steel. And he'd stare off someplace in the distance at something only he could see. He said all that's left now of the old days, these danged old coyotes and me. And they go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, doo, doo, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. One morning they searched his adobe. He disappeared without even a word. But that night as the moon crossed the mountain, one more coyote was heard. And he'd go, ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, doo, doo, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Ooh, yip, ooh, yip, ooh. Alrighty. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do one more song for you guys. Ahora la voy a cantar en español. Ojalá y esta la toquen en el canal de las estrellas. Ay, ay. Vete ya, si no encuentras motivos para seguir conmigo, ¿para qué continuar? Es mejor terminar como amigos que ser como enemigos, esperando atacar. Vete si tú sientes que mi boca no provoca sensaciones cuando ronda por tus labios. Vete si tu cuerpo no se excita cuando en forma de caricia te recorro con mis manos. Nada justifica en esta vida soportar con la mentira una relación. Si no hay amor, vete ya. Si no hay amor.
vete ya. Si no encuentras motivos para seguir conmigo, ¿para qué continuar? Es mejor terminar como amigos que ser como enemigos, esperando atacar. Vete si tú sientes que mi boca no provoca sensaciones cuando ronda por tus labios. Vete si tu cuerpo no se excita cuando en forma de caricia te recorro con mis manos. Nada justifica en esta vida soportar con la mentira una relación si no hay amor. Vete ya. Si no hay amor, vete ya. Si no hay amor, ay, 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 chatita. All right, I lied. I'm gonna do one more song. Here's a little song I wrote. It's a country song, and I'm just gonna give you a little sneak peek. Ready? I love the road I'm walking. I can see there's people talking. Well, I'll let it go and live a happy life. Well, even if I don't, at least I try. Life keeps on going, and I'm just getting older, and it goes without saying I do it all over. This moment, this life is nothing but a blink of an eye. Keep them shut, and buttercup, I'm kissing you tonight. I love the road I'm walking. I can see the people are talking. Well, I'll just let it go and live a happy life. Well, even if I don't, at least I try. Oh yeah. Thanks so much. Hey guys, I'm Edgar Wonder. You're watching Channel 27, Albuquerque Public Access.
And welcome back, folks. I hope you aren't tuning in just now, because if you are, you missed the best part of the show. We just came back from the wonderful Edgar Wonder performing us a set of just beautiful music. I'm at peace now, man.
Yeah, same.
I feel good. Mm-hmm. So, Edgar Wonder, ladies and gentlemen, come on, he's too good. You killed it. I think one of the first real big live performances here. But that's what we're all about, showcasing how talented this great state is. So, before we bring it on home here, tell us about where we can find you on social media and some of your upcoming projects.
Alrighty, I want to unashamedly plug in the song I'm producing with one of my great friends, Micah Thunder. It's coming out February 12th, 2021. That's the year we're in. That's right. Yeah, it's coming out. We've been working on it for a while, and it's just kind of a song that I feel encompasses a little bit of what I did in Allergies, like in terms of the 80s feel, synth, some of what I did in there, you know. I think people are going to like it. Mm-hmm. And especially working with Micah Thunder, like the songwriting that he brings to the table, it's great. You can find me, you can find Micah Thunder on Instagram. My handle's Edgar.Wonder. Micah Thunder is Micah Thunder. There's no other Micah Thunder. So, Also, follow me on TikTok.
Ooh.
True.
Edgar.Wonder, same thing.
There's some good TikToks there if you want to learn how he does his music production.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do some of that.
This is good. That's some real spicy producers type content there. For all
I'm going
you
to keep doing it
aspiring
just for
musicians.
you. You know, I haven't been doing it in a while, but I'm going to keep doing it just for you guys because you guys seem to enjoy it.
We love to see
The
it.
2 people who like it are right here.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give you a follow on TikTok too while we're at it before the day ends.
Tight.
And funny enough that you talk about your boy Micah Thunder, because we always have a little segment at the end where we ask our guests, who would you like to see on this show in the future? So I think that's an obvious question.
Wow, perfect opportunity. Alec Baldwin would
Oh.
be cool on the show.
Keep it local, please.
I'm just kidding.
We don't got him in the
Don't ask
budget.
about 30 Rock. No, I'm just kidding. Micah Thunder. I recommend Micah Thunder. I do.
Well, we'll see how that what's it called? That new song comes out, and if you're on it, hey, we're excited to see what you do, what he does, and hey, more guests for the show is what we like. Anybody else? I mean, is there any names you got?
You know, we got J.D. Nash. We got Benny Bassett. You ever heard of Felix Peralta? Felix y los Gatos. Who else am I thinking about here? Zandy Ashley. We got Scorpio Season. They're a power team. Zandy Ashley and Armando Arona. Emmanuel Morales, also an incredible. He does everything, man. He's got video stuff. Jolene Alarid, great person too. Yeah, you find all these people on Instagram. Just go to the people I follow. I follow everybody who's doing cool music. So just go to the people I follow. You'll see a lot of people.
Well, there you go. All names we'd love to see on the show too. We always like hearing what's going on in the city, you know, what kind of music everyone's making. And even better is a good chance for us to plug our stuff. First off, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at producers_pit. If you think you got some fire music that you want to share on this show, DM us on Instagram. That's how Edgar got here, actually. So feel free to reach out, and if you got the spice, we'll see you here sitting where Edgar is. So we hope to hear from you guys there. What else are we doing? YouTube, just Producers Pit, no fancy characters. That's where a lot of the episodes and the highlights are going to be. That's our main stuff. That's where the content is. And of course, we're going to be on TV now. Comcast Public Access Channel 27 is where it will be airing first. So if you guys want to see the Producers Pit before anybody else, that's where you go. And then everything else will be on our YouTube. Of course, you already know the highlights are going to be on social media. So you know where to find us. And so, with that being said, I think that's it, Damien.
Yeah.
Don't forget about his album, January 22nd. Follow the show. Don't know when that drops. I don't know if that hoodie will drop. That looks pretty fancy.
We'll see.
We'll see. Stay up to date. You'll know what's coming next. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff in the pipeline for this year. So thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the show. Without you, we wouldn't be in the wonderful Studio 519. We wouldn't have the wonderful crew that we brought on. And of course, we got to thank the crew at Studio 519 themselves. They do great work alongside the people that we bring in as well. And of course, very big thanks to Edgar Wonder for coming in, man.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate being here.
Well, that's all we got for today. So this is Producers Pit signing off, and we'll see you on the next one.